know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the old school Archons corner way. We're gonna wing it and make up numbers. What's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE. Joined here by the normal cast of number-making misfits. We have the resident PhD, Dr. Sheep.
13.
We have the choke show himself, Draskor.
69 dudes.
And the Ewokiest of Ewoks, Ewok Jr.
Hello, Keyforge community. Glad to be here with number 42.
Number 42. All right. What is that? That's the
answer to all.
That's the answer to all questions, right? Yeah. Okay. I was like,
the meaning, the life, universe, and everything. Come on.
Yep.
Come on. Get it right.
But we had you wouldn't know it by our Discord channel. We had a vault tour this past weekend. We don't.
The person who's running our channel too, if it wasn't bad enough that Baltimore got deleted while I was gone, now Vegas, it's a little known, man. We're gonna have to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of great pictures of all sorts of debauchery on.
Oh, debauchery! Channel. I mean, you are in Vegas, I guess. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Man, there were the sheep sleeve cards in there.
Wait, there were sheep sleeves? I need sheep sleeves.
Oh, there were definitely pictures worthy of sheep sleeves.
Oh, there is pictures worthy of sleeves.
There was not.
Yeah. Who made?
Oh, there was.
If you must know, they're on Dev's phone.
Oh, all right. We just gotta get to Dev. Be
like, who the hell is Dev?
He is the new Draskor.
He's like an LA guy.
Ooh.
He's come out with us before.
We're dropping Draskor and we're picking up Dev.
Great. Thanks.
Well, it's Draskor 2.0.
I mean, we are coming up to August. That is the time where we all the podcasters get together and we have the yearly podcaster draft. No,
I don't believe that is not true because I'm still on a podcast.
Yeah, you were drafted to this one. I drafted you.
I don't.
Apparently, people like you're complaining or something. I don't know.
You know, it's just sheep matches my energy, bruh, and I like it. But we did a thing on Thursday. Are these all made up numbers in here? Arrive 118. 118.
That was the
arrived?
temperature. That was the temperature in Las Vegas. 118 degrees when I arrived in Vegas on Thursday.
If there was only a way to cool yourself down with something, maybe
somebody should have told me about drinking water. That would have been helpful.
There's water in alcohol.
Totally water and alcohol.
Yeah. See, this is where you got to drink more beer.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard liquor, some sake. Yeah. Yep, was a lot of alcohol, not a lot of water. That's not a healthy thing to do.
You know what else?
118 out.
You want to know what else doesn't have a lot of water in it? Sushi. Fish out of water. That's literally what it's called. And you went to go have sushi?
I mean, it's like salt water, right? So probably like...
You're not helping your case.
The soy sauce.
Oh,
none of that low sodium shit.
I want all the sodium.
Oh yeah.
So who'd you go to sushi with?
That was my wife. So my wife was there.
His best friend.
So we actually came in the previous Saturday and rented a car. It was only 116 when we landed on that Saturday. We rented a car, drove up to Lake Tahoe to visit my sister, her husband, and their little baby.
Nice.
So did some hiking.
How little is the baby?
11 months.
Oh, jeez.
So
it's like fresh out.
Oh, basically, yeah. It's pretty hilarious. Like I got a cute video of her drinking out of a straw. Which she now she doesn't understand what straws are for. So like she like drinks it and just spits it out of her mouth. So like it's basically like just
normal baby behavior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird story. Draskor does the same thing. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, by Thursday night, maybe I was. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, was that Wednesday we recorded? Yeah, it was Wednesday we recorded. You were half in then, so if you just didn't stop.
Oh yeah, well I was still in Lake Tahoe. at that point, right? I was but we had we had gotten dinner, gotten some drinks, and then at the hotel they have like the hotel we stayed at has like a brewery like attached to it. And so we had some beers, and then I'm in the hotel room just, well, you guys heard, having a good ass time.
Yeah.
So
So okay, so you got in the notes Cosmopolitan. Did you stay in the Cosmopolitan?
no,
Or
we
is that
stayed
the
at
drink Cosmopolitan?
the Cosmopolitan's the name of a
fine
casino.
establishment in Vegas?
Yeah, it's one of the newer casinos there.
I'd never heard of it.
No?
No.
Well, you should go to Vegas.
I should.
We stayed at Alexis Park. That's where the event was.
Mm-hmm.
But we went to the Cosmopolitan, went to this this bar called the Ski Lodge, which is like hidden behind this like secret door kind of situation. I like that goofy shit. So yeah, we got in there, and it was all like 90s themed ski lodge. So the servers are in their like ski outfits, and the 90s ski outfits. So like lots of fluorescence,
colors and triangles.
Yep. Exactly. You got the vibe right there.
I know. I lived the vibe, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm a 90s baby all day. Born in 87, grew up in the 90s.
Yep.
And Biscuit was my jam.
If we still had our Vegas channel, you'd be able to see this picture I took of this Yeti, which wandered through in a bikini. This bikini-clad Yeti that wandered through the bar. So that was fun. And had a few drinks, and then Tobin was like,
I did not save the Yeti picture. That one is not on my phone.
That one's on my phone, so I guess I could go get that. But yeah, like Tobin's looking for the place. He can't find it because it's like behind some secret door, so I have to go like find him. But so he hangs out with us. We drink some more. Alcohol, not water. Who wants to drink water, right? So finally, after I guess I didn't mention all the sake we were drinking at the sushi place, but anywho, so we were like, oh, let's walk around. So we wander over to the Venetian, and end up at this place called the Juliet Room, and they must have some problem with people like just dodging checks, because like you have to like give them your credit card. There's like a minimum charge and whatever, but whatever. At that point, I was like, oh, whatever. So we have a bunch more drinks there, and it's getting pretty late. So of course, and they're serving no water, by the way, at the Venetian. So anywho, we get an Uber home, which of course takes forever to pick us up because everybody and their brother, some show just let out, right? And everybody and their brother is getting a vehicle. So we wait around this hot parking garage, 100 and whatever degrees. Finally, we get in the Uber. We're like driving home. I'm starting to like not feel so great. So that's a good sign, right? We pull up to the hotel, and we go to get out, right? And I stand up out of the Uber, and like the whole world just like spins, and I just like fall. I just fall on the sidewalk there, right at the hotel. And
so like, you passed out?
No, I didn't pass out, right? So I definitely,
I believe they call it heat stroke. I don't know.
Yes. Public service announcement. Don't not drink water when it's 118 out and drink a lot of booze at the same time. Like, hydrate yourself.
You gotta pace yourself, and every other drink, put a water in.
Yeah,
there you
Tobin definitely described it as passing out.
I mean, I caught myself. I landed on my hand and then my shoulder. Didn't hit my head, so that's good. So then I laid there for a moment because like I was going through like the systems diagnostic, right? It's like, okay, is like, am I gonna throw up? Nope, not gonna throw up. Right? Am I dead? Nope, not dead. All right. Is anything seriously injured?
Wait,
No, nothing seriously injured. And I'm like,
only a programmer is describing it as this way.
dead?
Yeah,
Nope,
yeah.
not dead.
if dead, break. Else if.
It's like a flow chart.
Yeah, exactly. I had
When
to read
did you get to the
requirements
point you're
document.
like, yes, I can have another drink?
So I'm like, I need to like, I do have some Powerade in the fridge, like back in my room. So like at some point, I was like, that's what I need. So I just like jump up and I like bolt through the lobby, and like people are waving at me and calling, and like Sydney's like, hey, I'm like, I just like point and I just like run past. I like run all the way to the hotel room so I could go just like start chugging Powerade and water and whatnot. And yeah. So public service announcement. Don't
I think these should be
Don't
on the
not drink
giveaway
water.
cards next vault tour. Please
They
make
should.
sure to maintain hydration.
yeah, there you go. And I'll what I'll do is I'll glue a Dasani to like a bottle of Jack and just hand a pair out to everyone. What do you think?
Sure, why not?
We like this.
Bottle of
All right.
Jack. That's too
Let's
much.
get it.
Maybe
Let's
just
get
beer.
into Friday, right? We don't know how many people were there for sealed, but we're gonna guess.
No. I
tournament was
know. I know how many there were sealed.
There were
That's the number I
69
know.
players for sealed.
There were 69 players. for
Very
sealed.
nice.
Is that why you remember?
And that's why I remember.
Okay.
You want to know what? Never. I was gonna say, you want to know why Sheep remembers? Because he's a dirty, dirty boy.
Mm-hmm.
Accurate.
69 players for sealed. Teriyaki. Your notes never make any sense to me. What's teriyaki? Yeah.
That's what we had for lunch.
Oh.
Yeah, there's just everybody was going to this teriyaki place that was just up the street. Like there was a lot of teriyaki the whole
It's a
weekend.
teriyaki madness, like we have.
Oh,
where we
it's a
play.
teriyaki madness. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So-
very
But
mid,
how
like
did your
Chinese food.
Sheep? How was your sealed situation? What was your deck like? How'd you do?
I went 4-2. I opened properly good GR Geistoids. I had like double in here somewhere. I had a Winds. It had some other stuff. That was good. The Brobnar had one Brick Nasty, one Shock Herder, one Caiaphas Riot, one Memorialize the Fallen, and some other creatures that were just there to punch things. So like that combo worked well, where I just kept rebuilding my Brobnar Burst Hand with my Geistoids, and then I had this really iffy Star Alliance with some. I took it because it had like two Lees and two Garcias and a Pentacorder, because that was the whole Amber control I had outside of Memorialize.
There's no Ember control. Don't you know how to play GR yet? Clearly not, because there's no Ember control in GR. It's it's gas to the ground.
Well, I played 2 gas houses and tried doing
More gas. All gas. I'm gonna guess that's one sealed is all gas.
That
right?
I don't actually know.
We don't have the list yet. We're waiting on an article from a certain company to
Come on, we can give them more than 1 day.
1 day.
It has not been
It's
very
Thursday.
many
It's been
days, sir.
4. Whatever.
Don't worry, it'll come out tomorrow.
It'll come out tomorrow, right after we finish
yeah.
recording, so we could do 2 weeks worth of episodes on it.
Yep.
They're
Yeah,
always
they figured
thinking
out
of
the
us,
formula.
those GG folk. Always thinking of us.
Always thinking.
How are they going to stretch this shit show out another week? I know.
We appreciate it.
Sheep at play. Sheep, you were frolicking, I heard?
Well, so as Nick said, he overindulged on Thursday.
Yeah. Like, I actually
So,
don't remember what my
his-
record was for sealed. Like, I was like looking back at my deck. What did
It
I even
wasn't
play?
good.
No. My decks weren't that good. I'm just looking at them. They're not Yeah, I didn't have great options.
I
You
know
were
in
too
our
fine.
channel, in the AC team channel, I think you went 0-2, right? You said you'd pulled straight Pupukaka.
No, I didn't go 0-2, did I?
You didn't? I don't remember. Hold on. I thought it was in here.
I don't think it was
It's
that
been
bad.
listen, it's been a long week for some of us. It's been a long month. July has not really gone over well. I don't know.
But basically, Draskor is like, there will be no experience.
My Drascore experience Friday night was going to bed super early.
The experience has been suspended for the Vegas Vault Tour.
I mean, it was a great experience for me.
Yeah.
I got
You're
lots
all
of
on
sleep.
your own. Nothing like showing up hungover to day one.
Oh, yeah, that might have been a bit. Definitely drink some water, folks.
Showing up drunk to day one. All right. We'll get you those decks and deck lists when we have that article, because we don't have that information. But we do know we do have the Archons. So let's talk a little bit about Archon on Saturday. 60-ish players.
You don't want to
for
hear
Archon.
about Sheep's experience at play? I want to hear about this.
Oh, okay. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Sheep.
so there was no Draskor experience. So we had the Dev experience. And he had suggested this place at Luxor called Play. Right? And it's not an arcade. It is a adult play experience, which gets real blue sounding. But it was like balance games, and they had like where you could put the suit on and you jump on a trampoline onto a Velcro target. They had an adult bounce house and ball pit. They had some word games. They had like fast reaction games. They had this full size operations style game. It's just a bunch of silly stuff like that, and then of course high alcohol content and drinks.
Listen, I was going a total different direction with that. I'm glad this is where we landed. Or maybe not. I'm not sure.
You thought it was a strip club?
Wait, well, when he said adult, I was like, oh, getting spicy.
Now, I know,
spicy.
but no, there was nothing with that. Actually, they specifically came around and said no sex in the bounce house.
No,
Wait,
they had to inform you guys.
Did you have to sign a contract where they're like,
just like looks down, pulls his pants back up. You know?
Not far from accuracy.
So, but here's the funny part: the fact that they had to come up and mention it to you means it's happened before.
It was not to our group. It was after we were leaving the bounce house. It was another group.
Either way, the fact that they had to mention it means it's happened.
Oh yeah, after they squeegee the bounce house down, they're like, "Hey guys, you can't do this."
We gotta squeeze in the bounce house. But it sounds like a cool place. I'd go.
It was the booze was good. They also had this really spinny slide, which was quite excellent to try to crawl into when you're blazed drunk, and then ride a very twisty slide while you're very, very drunk. That was good.
Who all was with you?
So we had Dev, myself, Sydney, X-Ray. And
X-Ray went? I didn't realize X-Ray went.
Yeah, X-Ray went.
Now you're sad.
He wasn't busy with some hookers or whatever?
No, not yet. Wow. And then we also had Logan Composer and Liquid Squash.
Oh, okay.
All with us. So it was interesting because it is outside of Sydney. It's not the typical group that I end up going out with. But it was very excellent.
Right on. Can we get into Saturday now? Some Archon action? I'm not hearing a no.
So I was actually rested and sober. Felt pretty good for Archon, so I actually remember stuff.
Right.
So
60-ish players for Archon.
Yes,
we don't know the actual number.
there.
Somebody. We're not going to name names. You know, we wouldn't name a name like Lokakar for deleting the channel and losing all the data we had in there. We wouldn't do something like that.
All the dadies.
Alliance had 16, possibly 18, but not 17. We're definitely not 17. It's either 16 or 18.
Yeah.
Well, I remember from the stream because I was at home living vicariously through you all. But I don't remember 16. I remember it as being 18. So I'm very curious to see what
Could've
the
been.
actual numbers are that came out on when the
You know
article comes out.
what's just bizarre, right? And I know it exists, but like coming like home from work because I was at work and I popped into the stream and I'm like, man, this thing is still going, and it's there. Is it an hour or 2 hours behind?
They're 2 hours behind.
They're 2 hours behind. I
Control.
thought it was 2 hours behind us. So I was just like, this is, and then I had to realize, oh, there's a time differential.
The days were long. They were long days. Like they
'cause
were ending at 10, 11.
I was gonna say, I know San Antonio ran super long too, right? Like,
Those
I
were
mean,
stacked.
right, but like even then, like you're still a couple hours behind us. So like, it's like 10:30, 11 here, right? But for you guys, it's like 9. So it was a little strange watching that. And it was what it was. It was fine. Siaka takes down his second sealed. So congratulations to Siaka.
Yeah, the two
No,
biggest
Shaka.
events, and Shaka wins the two biggest
Can
seals.
he put an H in his name for me? I'm
No,
gonna
well,
message
and
him right now.
Yeah, phonetically, I did mess it up earlier, but it is Shaka. But yes, back to back, Baltimore and Vegas. So congrats, huge,
Yeah.
huge undertaking.
Yeah,
All right,
good
Talk
stuff,
to me
dude.
about Golden Tiki and Derek, aka Wigsby from BGG.
Yeah, so we
I don't know who these people are, so somebody will call me a loser.
Well, do you know
along the way.
BGG, Board Game Geek, right?
I really
So-
don't. The first person I heard about Board Game Geek was like a month ago when Sydney brought it up, and I'm like, I don't know.
You
who these
didn't know
people are.
about Board Game Geek before that?
I
That's
know
where
they
all the-
existed, but like
Alright.
I don't really pay attention to them.
All right, fine. So I guess they recently released a video, which looks like it's gonna be part of a series called Keyforge. So
Yeah.
it's Derek and Candace from BGG, and they're just hanging out, talking, playing Keyforge, and drinking tea, not booze, because I guess family show, whatever.
Well, YouTube terms and conditions.
Yeah. So
That's why it's
So I
called Keyforge.
yeah, I believe Candace had an oolong and Derek had like a mint tea, I believe, if I remember correctly when I was watching the video. In case you were wondering. So, but
No Earl Grey, huh?
not
Not
this
yet.
time. But maybe you can make a recommendation to them.
I'm gonna
you
make
know.
a recommendation.
You should. So, anywho, so they had done this video, and then Derek was there, and it was super cool because, like, that sort of publicity for Keyforge, I think, would be awesome because, I mean, as a board gamer who got into this card game as a board gamer, like not as a card gamer, like that avenue to me makes a ton of sense. So I was running up and pestering Jeremy throughout the event. I was like, hey, do you know who that guy is? That's Derek. You should go talk to Derek. That's Wingsby. Have you talked to him? You should sponsor him, right? Like, I'm sure he was like, oh gosh, stop talking to me, Jasker. And then
he did not say that. He just kept going.
No, he didn't say that.
He just kept
But,
going. Who are you again?
But I might have mentioned it a few times. So, anywho, hopefully they do something there. But so I ended up chatting a bunch with Derek, and I guess he knew who I was, not because of this cast, right?
Because you won a vault tour.
No, not because of that.
Oh.
But he had watched some of the streams, and
See you commentating?
yeah, so he saw me commentating on one of the streams or whatever. So so we were chatting and whatnot, and he was talking about how he didn't expect to do that well. He actually did pretty well for his first go in
went
Sealed.
4-2 in Sealed.
Yeah, so he
Very
he
nice.
did pretty well for Sealed, right? I think I went 2-2 or something like that, or 3-2. I don't remember. Anywho, the so I was chatting with him like on and off all weekend. Saturday was probably a much more engaging conversation for him, probably from me. But we end up.
I could just imagine day one. It's just you rambling.
Oh yeah.
and you're
Probably.
hung over,
grunting.
and or drunk, so you think you're saying things, but it's just coming out.
Something like that.
Yeah,
But
I might have gotten my grunts wrong, but you know.
yeah. So I ended up being myself, Dr. Sheep, Derek, aka Wigsby, and my wife going out to the Golden Tiki. We talked with a whole bunch of folks. A bunch of folks were like, "Oh, we're going to go to the Taco Bell because
Yes.
because Vegas has a Taco Bell that has Baja Blast, like all Taco Bell, but like with booze in it. So everybody wanted to go check that out.
That's not
I was
just
like,
a Vegas thing. You can get that in there's Illinois. So there's okay. This is a bizarre thing to hear because like these places exist. Like down in Illinois, you can go to these things called they're Taco Bell cantinas.
Yeah,
And
that's what this was.
Yeah, and they serve alcohol.
Anyhow,
Like these exist
people are very
like
excited
all
about
over.
this. But we wanted to go to a tiki bar. So
yeah,
actually,
we
originally,
were not interested in Baja Blast at all.
What do you
Right.
even put in Baja Blast?
I don't know,
Vodka?
but we got
Alcohol, who
class,
knows?
so we don't care.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So there was actually supposed to be a new tiki bar opening that weekend.
What is your
so
obsession with tiki bars?
Well, rum is the best.
Yeah,
And
rum.
Okay,
tiki's
but
sir.
you can get rum anywhere. Like they're
No.
I mean,
This is like saying you can get beer anywhere, and you
Right.
go in there like, would you like Miller Lite and Bud Light?
exactly.
but you can get a beer.
No, that's
Factual,
water.
but like
That's
still,
water.
Wookie, I'm gonna kick you.
I'm just
I
saying.
probably
like,
would have been
it's still-
hydrated if I was
it's
just
still
drinking Miller
beer.
Lite.
Face punch granted. Shape. Face punch
yeah.
granted.
Thank you.
So right, we were. I think the place was called the Glittering Gulch Tiki. So I was like, look at this place up. It's supposed to open. We're gonna go there, check it out. I was chatting with Dev. He's like Googling it. He was like, "Are you sure this is a tiki bar?" There's some other Glittering Gulch that was a nudie bar.
Because of course there was. Why wouldn't there be?
I guess Glittering Gulch, anyhow. So
Sorry, children.
So yeah. So we but that we find out do some investigation because the website isn't clear, but just checking out Instagram and Reddit and whatnot. So wasn't yet open. So calling Audible is like, well, I've been to a few tiki bars in Vegas, and the Golden Tiki is my favorite. It's delicious. Got good drinks, good food, and the four of us wanted both. So we head over there, and folks say they'll come meet us, and we're like, all right, sure, if you come meet us, if not, whatever. Show up, get some drinks, and they were pretty delicious. The food was good, and we just hung out with the all the shrunken heads around us, and I don't know, I had a drink lit on fire, and I don't know, it was tasty. Do you remember what you got there, Sheep?
We started with a cold coffee drink with just like coconut milk and coffee, and it was non-alcoholic. Started light.
Oh, that's right.
And then I switched over and went straight to the painkillers.
Nice.
Which will
So one of the things
which will take care of business.
Is that how did you boys fare in Archon on Saturday?
Who played Archon?
I went 4-0 on Saturday.
I played
Archon.
Alliance,
You didn't
sir.
play
That's right.
Oh yeah, okay. So you played Alliance. All
I
right.
played your Alliance deck, and would you like to hear about the experience?
Well, we're coming up to that.
Hold on 1 second. While we're here and talking about Board Game Geek, I know we kind of glossed over, but both Candace and Derek are really, really important for us kind of going forward. Across multiple years, we've talked about the importance of marketing our game, Keyforge. It is a phenomenal game, an absolutely amazing community. But what is still missing is a way to be able to reach out to people who haven't necessarily learned about Keyforge. That's what Keyforge and BGG offers. So BGG, or Board Game Geek, is the largest board game database collection service that's been around for, oh goodness, at least 2 decades is my guess. It has been around for a very long time. But you're looking at both Candace and Derek. They are hosts that physically work for BGG. And as a result, they're running this series specifically about playing Keyforge. In this case, the first episode has been released. And we want, as a community, if you have not already done so, go in, watch it, flag it, like it, because that increases the ability for that video to be seen and for information about our great game to be able to get out
But
to
it also
others.
needs to just be watched. I hate to I don't mean to pee
I
on
agree.
your
I
fire.
agree with you. I agree,
don't
but
mean to pee on your fire, but it is the least watched on their channel. Now,
Well, it's new.
It is new, but if I'm running BGG, right, and I'm seeing all my other content is doing anywhere between the 40 and 50,000 views, right, on any given day, and then I look at this one and I go, ooh, 20, oof. They're a business
It's
too.
got more than 20.
When I last looked, it was like 19 and change. That's when I last looked, and this was a few days ago. So, it might be much higher by now. I don't know.
It's got 2.1 thousand views. The one next to it has,
2,100 views.
yeah,
Yes, 2,000.
the one next to
So
it,
2,100 views.
Yes.
Yes.
the one next to it has, which is not Keyforge, has 2,800 views.
Hold on.
So it's in the same realm, but again, you're looking at some stats. That's not
I'm
AC's
just
strong
looking-
point.
What I'm trying to say, because I didn't really get to finish my point. Thank you.
Go for it.
It is that just going to watch it is very important, because if they see it floundering, they're just going to pull it. That's not. Ooh, excuse me. That's not something we want.
Yes, but
Thank you.
Not
what I'm
exactly how BGG stuff
operates.
works, talking to Derek, but it is critical you watch it if it's going to stay around for a long time, because the other thing is the content creators just don't care if nobody watches it either.
Correct.
Right?
So the first episode has them playing Winds of Exchange. They put in some nice commentary and some nice fun facts. There's some fun things. It's a worthwhile watch, and that's what I want to be able to point out. As a board game player myself, I do think that many Keyforge players have come and could come from board games versus our standard traditional card game line. And so this is a really important item for us.
Yep. I know that Derek mentioned that his boss was pretty positive about it. So I think if the numbers back it up, we could see good things.
Or GG could sponsor it with some sweet GG dollars.
That would be
help it a lot.
I mean,
Well-
GG's got like $4.50, so like just give some of those 4.5 over.
Slip them a 5.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
All that
Sounds
money
like
they've been giving to us, they can send over there now.
Absolutely.
There you
You
go.
know what? Tell you what. Double it.
Yeah. You know what? I'll match.
Yeah.
Well, I will go ahead and say that what we can go ahead and do is oftentimes with Kickstarter events, they will run something in the background that is a giveaway. And that is something that could be an option that then could be drawing more attention to the idea of Keyforge. Keyforge, again, is a game that's been out for a while. So being able to see, hey, here's a new company, here's a new release, even with it being our second set, that would be important.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Also,
Nope, you're not done.
in-
Okay.
well, in our live show notes, Jeremy just left, but there were 52 for Archon. So we actually do have a number, and 18, he said, is what was there for Alliance. So
Okay.
I can go ahead and actually say that.
60-ish was really wrong. Wow.
I don't know. I told you, we stop deleting our channel, Loka.
He was counting heads and drunk, so he might have counted a couple doubles.
Yeah.
So let's move. I've lost my mouse cursor. Let's move into Alliance. How, Sheep, you played Alliance. How did you fare in Alliance?
I think my official ranking was actually 9th at 1 and 2, but I'm not certain. I went 1 and 2, and I did not win. I won nothing. So I played the deck I played in Texas that made top cut. First game, I was player 1. I played whatever card. And then they took a turn and they were playing a clone of Sydney's deck. So they were like, Igor, ZYX, Helper Bot, bounce it all back. Igor, ZYX, Helper Bot, Total Recall. Igor, ZYX, Helper Bot. Like some combination of that stuff, right? That's their turn 1. And I'm like,
So you got rolled.
And my hand is All-Star Alliance, which if you've ever looked at our Alliance deck that we've been playing around with, doesn't deliver, right, in the early game. So I played some cards, and then they took their next turn, and they basically, because with the ZYXs, they were able to re-archive the cards that let them bounce their Logos things, and I couldn't kill their Logos things. So at the end of that turn, deck in hand, essentially, because it's a Martian Generosity key abduction deck. Now, he had to cycle out the key abduction, so I had Forged Node keys, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, I could kill that and do whatever. And then I played a few more cards. I think I played a total of 7 cards that game. And then his next turn, because I couldn't kill the Logos board because I just didn't draw anything that was going to kill the Logos board my first 7 cards that I looked at or whatever it was. The next turn was Total Recall to get all the amber off the guys, right? And then land with Helper Bot, a full moon, lay all that stuff out, Chota, bounce, done.
Yeah.
So, turn 3, 7 cards played. Very, very exciting.
Wah wah.
So were you seeing a
Alliance.
decrease in the number of turns for Alliance from San Antonio? That's what it sounded like.
That I got to experience. And then I played Miggy on his cool Scholar Spam deck, but that Scholar Spam just doesn't quite play into what I was doing well. So I did get a win there. And then I played, I think it's Dustin, the deleted channel, which I still have the picture. He is the first winner and first signer of the AC Shredder Belt. But that was the next day. This day, he was just that damn BV Moray dude who whooped my ass in Alliance, which he did. And he was the guy who played first. Sorry, he was my first round. And then third round, I had to play Cat Morrow. And turn 1 was shopping spree, discarding 2 Nibors into her discard and some other stuff. And then turn 2 was put the whole deck out.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That was my Equidon pod that I actually sold to Olaf Games, and then Olaf sold to Katmaro.
And Olaf was second place at this event.
Yep. And I only say that because they were pinging me that morning, and I always check my messages. Otherwise, that deck would not have existed for that tournament. But
that would have been swell.
But I ruined your day and Sydney's, so there you go, guys.
So on Cat's second turn, Nibor combo, it's Prospector, so has a whole board and can draw. Chooses to just befuddle me. Actually, potentially made a mistake I could have capitalized on. I don't know how it would have worked out. It would have at least been an interesting game. Because she befuddled me into Mars, where my deck has a plan 10. So potentially I could have planned 10 and taken all of her tokens.
Ooh, you would have taken most of the deck.
I would have taken, which actually I don't know if that would have worked out because she had selectively picked a few cards to keep. So she might have still just been able to cycle with like the 12 cards or 10 cards that were left in the deck, whatever it was.
But you didn't have...
That didn't happen. So I said, okay. And then she just cycles Token of Appreciation 3 times the next turn and says, good game. And I'm like, yep, that's how this works. And that was also, I went first, played I think I only played 5 cards that game. I played 3, and then I didn't even actually play my next turn, right? Because I played my first real turn, then I watched her put all the tokens out, and then basically I just talked through the game, so you can do this and this and this, which means you just cycle that card to win. I'm like, it's also a corner of the market. It's like you just cycle the corner of the markets and went through a couple of amber and control that way. I can't beat that. And she's like, oh, token appreciation. I'm like, oh, yeah, you cycle. Okay, concede. So we didn't even, I was just like, yeah, this is done. You don't need to. it works. This is all over. Oh well.
So you had fun playing Alliance, is what I heard.
You know what? I was very hungover from play, so I was pretty satisfied to be done and go take a nap.
So you finished 9th out of 18. There you go.
Yep. But Archon, I do have an Archon story. After asking half a dozen people to play Fraud, I could find nobody who would take Fraud off me. And then I just walked into the line as people are lining up to sign up for Archon. It's towards the back of the line. I'm just like going, who do I know? Who would I hand Fraud to and not worry about? And I ran into Elliot. He's from like the Colorado area, Math and Love, and he plays Keyforge like 5 times a year or something. Like he comes out to a couple of big events. He doesn't really show up to the locals. So I was just like, you want to play Fraud? And he's like, well, it's better than what I got, so sure. So he took Fraud and went 4-0 day 1 Archon with Fraud. After having never touched the deck in his life, really, he went 4-0 with Fraud on day 1.
Did you not hear the story about how he ended up picking it out, too? He happened to be over on the West Coast, over in Seattle, where he had played last year. And he's like, man, I wonder if there's still a vault going on. And he looked it up. He's like, there's a vault in Vegas. And he just picked a ticket up and came out the next week. So he was just going to play his best deck there. That's awesome. Yeah. That's what I love to see.
And then I got some dirty looks and some thanks for letting somebody play Fraud and losing to it. But
all right.
It was good.
Let's talk a little bit about that Archon. We do have a top 8 for Archon. 7 Grim Reminders decks.
Yep.
We're in Archon and Fraud.
And Fraud.
So this is it. Fraud is now the deck that Ghost Galaxy gets to use as an excuse to not fix Grim Reminders. Because they're going to be like, look at this stupid Coda deck won an event and top cuts. Like, see, Grim Reminders isn't broken.
So
thanks, Chief.
So the other point in which I want to I just want to point this out real quick. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
7,
5,
7
6,
Geistoid decks.
7 Geistoid decks.
Also,
I'm not worried about Geistoid. Look at the
on.
next piece. 7
Mars.
7 Mars. That's crazy. Like 7 Geistoid, 7 Mars, 1 logo stack.
Well,
right? Everything used to be logos.
But logos isn't in GR, and the only logo showed up in Fraud. So yes, that makes sense. And Geistoid is your new logos. So yeah,
well, you also 6 out of 8 have both Geistoid and Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mars real good.
Mars is real good. I agree.
So do with that information as you will. Buy more Grim Reminders.
Well, Mordecai being the deck that had Geistoid, Unfathomable, and Untamed, and not the Mars.
Yes, there was only one that did not have both the combo. But Flaming Hobo wins Archon.
Congrats.
And Random Joe winning Alliance. So congrats.
On
it's a Coda control.
Coda control deck, yep.
What control of the week? Was it Resty?
Yeah, control.
Yeah, it's 4 control of the week. Shadows was actually the 3rd house. So Logos, Shadows, and then
Dis.
The Dis.
So it has to have Dis if it's got control of the week.
Yeah.
So more to come on that. We'll go over decks as we get them probably here shortly. But Flights Home. What flight? What would? Okay, this says Flights Home ... And if we're talking about Flights Home, I'm sure it was something interesting enough to have put in the notes.
So
let me
your experience first, or do you want to talk about the weather here at home?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the weather at home. So the weather here in the central, because you guys were flying into Illinois, that night, which was Sunday night, and then Monday, when you guys actually landed Monday night. We had 10 different tornadoes that had been touched down kind of in that area. So we had some pretty severe weather that was happening, and that really caused issues. What did you guys see from Vegas with your flights? Because it was definitely impacted.
So at 9, a little after 9, we were rolling up to fly out. We're about to go through our TSA pre-check, and Sydney and I's phone buzzed saying our flight was canceled.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, we were all going up together, and they're just like, before we go through security, they're like, wait a second, we don't have a flight anymore. We're like, oh, all right. So we're like, woof, that sucks for them. I guess we're the lucky ones, but we were not the lucky ones. Because we go through security, my wife and I, and get all the way up to the gate, getting there, waiting for plane and whatnot. They're like, just a little delay, like 2-hour delay. We're just waiting for the crew to come in. 2-hour delay. All right, fine. So you wait 2 hours, nothing. We're gonna wait another hour for the crew. At this point, it's like, do they know where the crew is? Like, oh, they're in Phoenix. I'm like, wait, they're in Phoenix right now? How are they gonna get here in an hour?
On a plane, duh.
Like, so an hour goes by. Oh, we're gonna delay it another hour. It's like, oh my goodness. So this keeps going on till like 2:30 in the morning. And so 2:30 in the morning or so, they're finally like, yeah, we're gonna delay the flight until 8:30 in the morning. So if people line up, we'll give you like hotel vouchers. So it's like, oh. So everybody lines up. Line's not moving. 3:00, the guy's like, yeah, so the system won't issue vouchers. But if you go and stay at a hotel, you can like go to the website and like request reimbursement. I'm like, oh, what? Like, it's like past 3 a.m. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the hotel, right? By the time I get there, how much sleep I'm gonna get in order to get back here for an 8:30 flight, and then pray that they reimburse me. So we decide we're just gonna sleep what we can in the terminal. So with like the worst, sleep right there in the terminal with a bunch of other folks. Some woman had an air mattress though. She like blew it up in the aisle. Like laying in the aisle with her air mattress.
Came prepared.
Yeah, I was like tempted to be like, hey, can I join you? Looked pretty comfortable. But I thought better than making that suggestion. So
With your wife being there and all.
Maybe she could have joined it too. It would have been a lot of fun. So
boy, when this show goes off, then just the show just
So of course 8:30 rolls around, and of course what happens? Oh, it's delayed again, right? So I don't think it was delayed multiple times. I don't think we got into the air till like 11, right? And so then finally get home, land. And by the time I get home, it's like almost 8 p.m. And I'm like, oh, I'm so exhausted. So just had to like basically shove some food in my face and go to sleep. It was a rough day of traveling.
Yeah. Ours was bad, but at least like clear bad, because we got canceled and we're on American, and you like go through an app, and Sydney can get on a flight that I can't get on. I have a cheaper ticket than her. I'm like, economy because I'm cheap, and
economy minus, right?
Economy schlub. And she's on something else, I don't know, but she can get flights that I can't get. And we're like, what the? And the only flight it would actually let us book was midnight on Monday to fly to like Phoenix to fly home and get home at like, I guess that one, it's going to get us home at 5:30 a.m. on Tuesday. Ooh. So maybe it was fly out 7, to Phoenix, and then midnight at Phoenix to home, right? It was something awful like that where like it's a whole extra day, right? But it's a whole extra day where you also are red eyeing it, so you essentially need Tuesday off work or you're going to feel like death. So, we went down and talked to a travel agent, and like she was actually super friendly, really worked with us. She booked us on that flight. She said, I have you locked in for this, but then I used a priority code to put you on standby for a flight that leaves to Phoenix at noon. And if you get on the flight at Phoenix at noon, then you might be able to catch like this 2:30 or 4 o'clock flight from there to Chicago, right? But it's all standby, so it's a crapshoot. That's what we got to do. So we had to find a cheap hotel room because we were not flying until the next day. And then we come back at 10 a.m.
Did you go drinking, by the way?
No, so we got back to a hotel area, and then we checked in with people at like 10:15 at night, and nobody responded except Jeremy, who was responding from his computer because he left his phone in Marcus's car. So he had no phone, so he wasn't going to go anywhere. And like, Josh was out celebrating his anniversary with his partner. Marcus was at some show. Mammon was passed out. Like, it's just like everybody I contacted, they're all like, nope. So we were just like, fine. And just like, and we're up at like 5:30 the next morning, of course. Because
didn't go back to the 1923. I heard stories about the 1923.
Yeah, so that was after the Golden Tiki. That's where they were, but they only sent us a picture of the door, which didn't look that interesting. So Drascor wanted to go to bed again because Mr. 4-0 was playing.
You wanted to go to bed.
Mr. 4-0, and I said I could go to bed too.
Yeah,
because their pictures weren't that exciting. And then then the next morning, Sydney shows us the real pictures, and I was like, "You suck," because. They look like they had a wild time. But anyways, so we don't fly. We're on standby. We don't fly. There's the noon standby, right? And they're like, there are no seats. It's overbooked. It's standby, right? So you're just waiting to see if anybody doesn't show up. And then they call Sydney, some other name, and me, right? And we're like, awesome. And as Sydney's lining up, this guy comes running up. He's like, I got a first class ticket. And he's being a dickhead. He's like 3 minutes before the flight's supposed to board, so they're like, no, your ticket's already been redistributed because you weren't here. And so he's going off, and then they call me, and I'm like skating by this guy who's screaming at everybody, of course. And then we walk down the ramp. We get to the end. They're like, oh, turns out there's only one seat, so you'll have to, like your group has to separate. And it's like Sydney and I aren't really together, right? We're just traveling together because of convenience. And it's like, okay, so she gets on this plane at noon. I get to go back up the ramp. I sit in Vegas until 4:40, where I do get on a standby flight to Phoenix at like 4 in the afternoon. Sydney was waiting to get on standby for a 4 o'clock out, but they canceled that plane.
Oh.
So the next one is actually the plane I'm flying in on, then goes on to Chicago. So
she gets on the flight that you.
I get into Phoenix. I get off the plane, and Sydney's in line trying to get us on standby, and they tell her we can't go on standby because we're still in Vegas, right? Because we have Vegas flights for 7 p.m. And they're telling this lady who's at the counter who's stressed to all hell, right? She's like, you're still in Vegas. Your flights haven't left. I can't deal with you. Go away. So Cindy and I walk down to another customer service, right? This next flight is leaving in like half an hour. We go down to this next customer service guy, and he's like, yeah, it's within an hour, so I'm not allowed to do anything. I'm like, sure, I understand. Like, it's a bad day. We're all just trying to do what we can. I'm just trying to understand what's going on because they're saying we can't fly because we're here. And he's like, that doesn't make sense. He's like, let me look at that. And he clicks a few things, and he kind of gives us a look, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's like, I'm just like, it's okay. Whatever. We got a flight at midnight, nothing else. Like, you guys are doing what you can. And he's like, click, click, click. And then he hands us both tickets to the 6 o'clock flight.
Nice.
So we go back down. I have a seat. So I go on the plane. Sydney's ticket says, see gate for assignment. So she goes up there, and this bitchy lady, right, from before is like, yes, that just means you're on standby. And she's like, no, it says I'm supposed to see you for an assignment. She gives it this another look. She types up in the computer. She gives Sydney kind of a dirty look. And I'm just standing back and watching the screen. there are green highlighted names of people who are flying standby, and one of them de-highlights, and Sydney gets a seat.
Nice.
And then we flew home, and I got home at 3:30 a.m. instead of 5:30 a.m. So it wasn't like a huge savings in the end, but...
Did you go to work on Tuesday?
Yes, I slept for 4 hours and went to work.
He also came out to Keyforge that night, too.
I also came out to Keyforge.
There you
and
go.
got wrecked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was not a good deck.
Nope. Did anybody even take it home, or is it still on the table?
Actually, they had the giveaway the weekend before, and there was some
You guys just put it on that pile?
We added it to the Keyforge swag pile.
Good way to make people not want to play this game. Here's some wretched trash.
Hey, I wrote a handwritten note that said we play on Tuesdays, and you should come out to play with us, and we'll teach you the game.
Very nice of you.
Okay.
But yeah, traveling out of Vegas was awful. I know he wasn't delayed as much, but Josh got delayed. Rob, he got like diverted, or he ended up in Detroit and couldn't get home. Just about every flight ended up delayed or a mess going out. It was
rough.
It was pretty bad return trip.
Well, I definitely was very, very sad being here. I mean, we had some beautiful weather back home, but to miss the amazing vault tour, to see all of our friends and family, to see all the events that happened from Thursday and Friday as everyone was cheering in that amazing Vegas channel that is now deleted.
Yeah, you missed the best not a Drascore experience ever.
You know, I actually had this because I was listening to that Baltimore recap, and you guys did not meet up once again. So apparently, Draz, you and Sheep just cannot meet to have a great Drascore experience. That's what I'm hearing.
We did it on
I wasn't in
Saturday night.
Baltimore. How was I going to play with them?
No. You had actually voiced that you never end up showing up at the true amazing Drascore.
The good Drascore experiences I always miss.
And this year, this Vegas
is pretty good.
This Vegas trip, Draz went to sleep and you had a different outing. But again, the pictures were great. The actual numbers were really nice. I do not miss the travel back, and it really would have caused big problems with the girls and my wife. So I'm not sad to have missed that. But congratulations. And actually, as we're going through, it looked like Shaka, who had won for Sealed, they have a star next to Mark H. So he is actually qualified for Worlds as the runner-up. So they passed that down.
Passed down. I did get my Archon trophy, so now I have a glass trophy. It's
nice. There you go.
It is lovely.
All right.
Boys, you know that it wasn't just one vault this past weekend, though. I mean, you could literally have watched Keyforge for multiple days straight, as there was a vault tour that was happening over in Vietnam.
Yeah, that one I don't think we have as much information on. I mean, we do have some pictures.
We have pictures. Actually, some great cosplay.
There was cosplay in Vegas. We did get assaulted by the Grim Reaper.
Oh yeah. Somebody showed up.
Let's just say it does not live up to the cosplay that they had in Ho Chi Minh,
Vietnam. Yeah.
That one a little bit more diverse, and again, we'll go over this when we go through the decks and talk about all the fun stuff. That one only had 6 Grim Reminders in the top 8. A Worlds Collide also made an appearance, and somehow a AOA came in.
Yeah, and this was Chorzard's spawn of Ipispace, so 91 SAS, not bad there. You have...
For AOA, that's a 101.
Well, but I mean, you got a picture of it. This has some tools there, so it was very interesting. Amber Imp, double Amber Imps. You got double Pip, so a lot of repay, double Helper Bots, Help from Future Self, Life for Life.
It has TMTP, Life for Life,
yep, double
Brend.
Yep, double Brend.
Good Steel and Shadow. Double Brend. It's got some good stuff in Shadows.
The disc isn't even that exceptional, though, which is interesting.
It's got to unlock Gateway Schuler.
Lash.
Yeah,
Which will
I guess
help there,
that's
but
not.
no,
Well,
it's not
Lash you
great.
can combo off with a TMTP.
Poltergeist there, but
Huh.
it was interesting to be able to see. We also had a friend who made it all the way over to Vietnam, so that was really neat to be able to see.
Who was that?
And I'll say it. Who's
That was
that?
Matze.
That's
That was
who?
our German.
Oh,
Do you not remember how I was made fun of how I went ahead and mispronounced his name last time, and then I was corrected over at Worlds? So, oh well, see, just like my wife, nobody remembers these amazing moments. But Masa actually went over. You can actually see in the pictures, which our channel is still up for Vietnam or Ho Chi Minh.
It's
so that's
got
pretty
mere
cool.
minutes left.
Yeah. Local Car is trying to find the delete button right now.
So make it very, very, very quick. But no, it was great to be able to see. And I love that community. So awesome.
Yeah,
All
it's definitely
right.
cool to see that event fire and everybody having a good time. So cool stuff.
Ooh, actually, in that Ho Chi Minh, you have your Yeti poster that you had reposted there.
Oh, because
the
I
Yeti in the
accidentally
bikini because
posted
you
it there.
posted
That's
in the wrong
right.
section.
Right.
Yeah.
Sunday said more pictures, please. So I just responded to him with the Yeti dancing in a bikini with the dollar bills hanging out. And
But it was the
and
wrong
then I was like,
channel.
oh wait. Yeah, wrong channel. So there's the Yeti.
I just assumed that was typical Drazcore nonsense.
That was
Wherever
actually-
Drazcore goes, there's a Yeti in a bikini. Duh.
This is exactly the kind of like random picture you just have at ready.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
this is what I was doing at that time.
I like that there's money in the Yeti's bikini.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. There were 33 individuals that showed up for Sealed in Vietnam. Again, Riku, amazing job on the actual, like all the work that went in on the behind the scenes. So absolutely amazing. And Astron, phenomenal job being able to go ahead and do commentary so that we had it in English to be able to follow along. So yes, I could actually follow both Vietnam early in the morning and then Vegas later in the day and afternoon.
Now
So
here's
it
a
was really
slight poke, or I'm gonna poke at Gigi, just a touch, just a little bit. Ready?
Okay, go for it.
The playmats that they received are in English.
Yeah, well, so just
English is the official language of Keyforge.
yeah, one of the two. It will always be standard.
I understand, but I mean, if you're gonna do a vault tour, what's this? There's some new art that's. I don't think I've ever
we
seen
could just
this
go
art.
back to Z's advice, right? Which is
If you're not
the
an
American and don't
American-
lose.
Go, yeah, be American and don't lose.
Yeah, that's his advice. Yeah,
To be honest with you, it's great advice for us.
yeah.
It works.
We're halfway there.
You guys are so absolutely privileged, man. Just-
Yes,
man.
yes, we
Man.
are. And it's glorious, sir.
All right. So I will say congratulations to Olean, who took down Sealed, Deanne for Archon, and then Bree for taking down the Alliance in Vietnam.
Did they end up with enough to run Alliance?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
We have
That's an
champions.
answer.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We'll find out probably next week. But with that being said, we'll see y'all next week.
Happy forging, everyone.
May the forge be with you.